Driving on the highway on our way up to Tennant Creek, and we just noticed something sitting on the white line on the side of the road, coiled up. And Chris, sitting beside me, shouted, "Woma!" That's the name of the python. It's a very beautiful amber-coloured snake with kind of dark stripes on it. You sometimes hear people saying, "Oh, I saw a giant tiger snake," but it would be a Woma. They're quite rare and quite hard to find. So out of all of us in the car, it was, I think, the first for everybody. I don't think any of us had seen one in the wild before. So we were just stoked. The animal was quite, it was a bit surprised at first when we found it. I think it was just trying to warm up. They're normally nocturnal, and this was around about midday we found it, so it's very unusual to find it like that. It was a bit angry, actually, at being disturbed, so it made a few, a bit of a performance where it was trying to strike me. It looked very dramatic. It was a beautiful animal. It just shed its skin. The way that snakes grow is they shed their skin in one go, and then they've got a beautiful new skin underneath, and that's what this animal was. It was just perfectly freshly shed. So it really looked the brightest and most beautiful it was going to look.
And Mark, in that aggressive state, the python, is this the type of python that could, strangle you?
Oh, it was nowhere near big enough. It was only about a meter, 1.2 meters long, something like that. Its first concern was to get rid of us, because snakes are actually, something people don't realize, snakes are actually very vulnerable. They don't have any armor. They don't have any spikes or anything like that. They don't have claws. All they've got is their venom and their reputation. They know that a lot of animals are scared of them. So even snakes that aren't venomous, they pretend that they are, just to scare you and get rid of you, because the snake just wants to be left alone generally. Lots of birds of prey really enjoy eating snakes. So I feel a bit sorry for snakes when I see them, to be honest. They're they're always on the run and feeling a bit persecuted.
So, Mark, you're part of a band of zoologists that are trekking across the outback in search of various wildlife. What are you in search of up there in the Barkly?
There's three of us. One of us is from Victoria, Chris Watson, and another girl, Lauren. She lives in Alice, and she's doing research at the moment these days into rodents in the Simpson Desert. I'm actually a wildlife tour operator these days, so I've got a little business taking bird watchers out to find rare birds. And we basically had some time off this week and decided to make the most of the weather. Suddenly gotten a bit cool, and there's a lot of places up around Tennant Creek that there's records of birds, but they haven't been seen for up to a decade or more, some of these unusual birds. So we thought we would come up and just see what we could rustle up, really.
Any other notable finds apart from the Woma python?
We've found quite a few nail-tail wallabies, northern nail-tail wallabies. So they're probably right on the edge of the distribution here. You find them in the savanna country to the north. They're reasonably common up there, but once you get down into the sort of desert, they're nowhere near as common. We saw a long-haired rat last night, which is quite an exciting species if you're a zoologist. It's an animal that's not really seen much outside of the wet years. But when you get a wet year, they breed up, and suddenly there can be thousands of them. And they're very important ecologically. We're contributing all our records to the various databases, so it's all going towards scientific research for the future.